Welcome back, everybody, to LBS Response to episode number 44. And you guys probably thought you guys clicked on the wrong video since how different I look. I don't have a beanie on, a baseball cap. I don't have facial hair all over my damn face. I don't have long hair anymore. And I'm wearing a tank top, so it's all brand new to the LBS Response to setting. I'll tell you that for a fact. But yeah, so pretty much I've had a pretty good week so far of getting back into the gym. I went to the gym, whenever that was, like June 2nd. I literally felt like a noodle after. I mean, I was sore than probably more sore than I've ever been. So I didn't go for 2 days after that to kind of just recover. And then for the past 5 nights, this will be my 6th night. As I'm filming this, of going to the gym, getting back into the swing of things, feeling a lot better about myself, and down a couple pounds, and definitely just getting back in the swing of things. So 2 days into this gym grind, I'm like, got to do something with the hair. That alone is probably like 5 pounds of hair that I lost, but just in general, just so I'm not absolutely dying 2 seconds into the gym. So I got a haircut, trimmed up all the facial hair. And yeah, so there's that, guys. So let's move on to the questions, though, for episode number 44. Quite a few this time around. Let's get into it with Master G. He says, are you a fan of Lord of the Rings and Hobbit Lego? If so, what sets would you recommend? Keep up the good work, man. I really don't pay that much attention to Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. I think I've answered that before where I've never seen those movies. I truthfully don't think I've seen any of either of them. I don't think. I think I know... I brought up Harry Potter at one point, how I watched like 2 Harry Potter. I know it's not even the same like universe, but other than Star Wars, I mean, I don't, I have not watched Lord of the Rings or Hobbit, so I really can't say much. All I can say is like my favorite Hobbit set is probably, or my favorite Lord of the Rings set is probably like the Council of Elrond, since I have that right down there. Other than that, though, I can't really say much about that. So there's that. Move on to Ronan Ponder. He has 2 questions here. He says, are you going to get plain 330-second helmets to put on your 501st Troopers? If so, how many do you think you'll get? That's a good idea, honestly, since it looks like the 330-second clone is just identical to the 501st clone, just different helmets, in the Lego sets. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably what I'll do at that point, since the 330-second clone is probably going to be a $10 figure forever, the helmet alone is going to be $3-4 at that point. So I'll have to see how expensive that helmet gets, because if it gets any more than $4 or $5, I'll probably just go CAC route, and definitely when I get 5 or 6 of the 501st battle packs, just kind of use the CAC ones to switch them on and off for a 330-second. But I'll have to kind of see when it gets around that point after maybe a couple of weeks, what the values are like. But there's that. Moving on, he also has another question: how many AATs will you get? Honestly, I'm just thinking 1. I mean, I'm probably gonna get 1 at maybe 20% off. $32. That sounds like a good deal. Get the Ahsoka, get the clone, get the vehicle, and that's about it. Other than that, to actually build, probably 1, and then I probably want to keep at least 2 sealed. So there's that. Moving on to MBrick Production, it says, why do you think some Lego sets have 2 instruction manuals? That's pretty much just to kind of cut up the instructions a little bit. I mean, I know some sets do have it like where there's multiple vehicles. Like 2 bigger vehicles, that like one side of the set, would be in the first one side of the other one would be in the second one. So technically you can almost have 2 people build it at that point. Or I know, and I think even that latest, the Monkey Kid boat thing, right? Isn't it when Ryan unboxed it, there was like 5 instruction booklets or something like that? I don't really know what the point of that is. But I mean, obviously, like at the end of the day, like, if it's on a bigger set, it's just so, 1 instruction booklet's not, 500 pages. So they at least split it up a little bit. And I know in some cases it is possible to build, kind of have 2 or 3 people build on a set, at the same time, which is not normal for every single set. But, on those rare occasions, that's probably why they do it. But other than that, I don't really have any inside information on why they do it. But I think that's just kind of my personal opinion on probably why they do that, but I'm not sure. If you guys have any other ideas on why they do that, leave it down below. Moving on to Zejol Smolder says, when do you think we'll get more Rogue One sets? And that's a tough one. I don't really know. I don't know if we'll ever get new Rogue One sets. Really, it's hard to tell. Like I don't see them really coming back to it. I don't see what else they could do. I mean, of course, there's a couple other set ideas they could still do, but I feel like they would have done them already. So really, it's hard to tell. I mean, I could maybe, of course, say within 5 years, maybe we'll get something of the sorts from Rogue One again. But even to that point, that's really tough to say. So there's that. That Funky Monkey says, when do you think you will buy your own place to live? So I know Ryan was just talking about this as well. Of course, he's in a much better financial position. He is making anywhere from 10, he's making 10 times more than me. So in his case, good on him for being able to move out and do, like, he's talking about like a 4-bedroom house. Good on him. Honestly, I'm proud of all that. And again, he's worked for it, and can't wait to see what he does with that. But in my case, being 19 right now, I don't have any plans on moving anytime soon. I do want to move. It would be nice if I could move, but obviously in the budget, that's not really anything I'm thinking of right this second. Just for the fact, I don't. Same with what Ryan was saying. I don't want to rent. That's definitely on the latter half of what I would like to do. I would of course like to buy a house. Not anything too crazy. I don't need a 5-bedroom house, but something like a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-bed, 2-bath, at least something like that, where it's like at least, multiple people can like live in there if needed, where it's like I can kind of stay around there for a while. Because, something like an apartment, like even if I get it, like, unless I get it for like super cheap, but at that point it's gotta be a good apartment. Like if I can rent an apartment out $300-$400 a month, I'll probably do that for a little bit. Not anytime soon, but probably 2021. Of course, just kind of where I'm at in my life, it would be nice if I had my own place. I feel like that would definitely help a lot of things, but of course I still love being home with my parents. I got my mom's house over in I was gonna say the town, but over about 30 minutes away from here. I've got my dad's house here. It's all chill still. I don't mind living with my parents, of course. It's nice to get free groceries. That's pretty much the only benefit of living and not having to pay bills, of course. But probably 2021 summer, I can maybe see myself honestly moving out. That's like the realistic thing right now. 2021 summer. So there's the answer to that. Moving on to Nicole Gann says, a favorite thing about Clemmy Customs, and I think really just the fact they've been around for so long and that I've already had such a big collection of them built that like you can really just keep on adding to it. And I've pretty much got all my custom colognes from CAC. Like it's just one of those things, like they've been around for 12 years or whatever, and I've got so much of it, weapons, figures, that just why not just keep on building off of it. And of course, they've got decent prices, not too bad. They've got reasonable prices for what it is. I think they look the best out of all of them. I think they look the most consistent out of all the different brands. And I think that's pretty much that. Moving on to that Lego Star Wars guy underscore, or that Lego SW underscore guy says, do you regret choosing the ATT over the gunship in 2008? Would you have chosen differently today? Probably not. That's really tough to say. Looking back, like, if I would have got the gunship, would I be in this exact position right now? Like, I don't know. Like, would I be collecting still? So I think just to kind of keep everything how it's been, I would probably stick with the ATT. And again, I still like it. I really do. I've got 2 of the 2013 gunships. I'm more than fine with it. I've got 3 of the 2008 ATTs now, so I'm pretty sure I'm fine with that decision. But moving on to Ryan Taquerias says, thoughts on mixing Phase 1 and Phase 2 in MOCS. I used to do it all the time, back like before YouTube. I think everyone probably did, but obviously for like real MOCs that you plan on posting, like dioramas, and like be as accurate as possible, but like still being a mock, I definitely would still say stay on one side or the other, not mix both. But I think it's all right. Again, if you have to, you have to. If not, of course, either just do one or the other. But there's that. Then we have probably the last question for the video right here, guys. We have Bob Brick says, hey man, great video. Why don't you build that many MOCs anymore? I think, and that's why most of us, the viewers, are here. So I'll answer this really quick. I've answered a little bit before. I almost plan on making a whole separate video, but really just kind of the vibe's been a little different. Of course, I could really say back in 2015 through 2017, I had absolutely no other restrictions. Like I just nothing. Like I was just going to high school. I was just living at my parents still. I still hung out with my friends and stuff, but like I feel like I just had a lot less to worry about. Where I was able to come over here and like just fully relax, put all my money towards a mock and really get it done quick. And I had I'll be honest, I had a little bit more motivation back then. Of course, I was kind of working towards goals of getting in Rebel Lug. I eventually did for 2 months, and then I feel like I was surrounded by a lot more mock builders at that point. I was talking to Chris, Danny, Spencer, like every day, every other day. So I feel like I was like a lot more surrounded around just like that motivational group that would always kind of push me to build, and vice versa. And I'm not really around that anymore. I don't talk to them, honestly. I'm not in Rebel Lug. I don't see myself getting back into Rebel Lug. Like, that's all kind of pushed back. And, the fact that Brick World's not happening this year, there was really no point of you know, getting a deadline on a mock right before Brick World. Of course, I had a couple complications with Megiddo. Of course, I could have worked around him a little bit, which actually, by the time you guys see this, you guys would already know Megiddo is happening now. So stay tuned for the channel for that. Of course, I know that's what all you guys want to see. Of course, I know that's what gets views. I know that's that gets engagement. But I really just have to get back in the swing of things. And of course, the past 2 months for me have been tough. You know, so it's like, and even financially, I'm not making the most money I ever have right now. I've got a car payment now, so I've got some other stuff that I kind of have to work towards, you know, in saving money, you know, investing money. But definitely in 2020, I want to get Megiddo out. I want to get at least one more mock out. And then hopefully in 2021 and onward, I can really get back in the swing of things. Since, again, I know that's what all of you guys like to see, but there's pretty much that, guys. Let's see if there's any other shorter, I guess we have right here, Big Mr. T, waffles or pancakes? Definitely pancakes. I've always been a bigger fan of pancakes, especially chocolate chip pancakes from Denny's and IHOP. Those are my two favorites right there. So chocolate chip pancakes all day, can eat those forever. So there's that, guys. And that's pretty much all for the questions right here. Again, there's a couple other smaller questions. If you guys want those answered, again, leave them down below. I'll maybe get to them next week. Again, if I don't answer your questions, no hard feelings. It's just, again, got kind of a time restriction on these videos and kind of want to answer the most, you know, kind of top priority ones first. So again, that's pretty much all for this video. And thank you guys all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for us, you guys, later. Bye, guys. Stay safe. Save 5% off on your next LEGO purchase. Be sure to use code LIFEBrick. That's capital L-I-F-E brick at republicbricks.com for 5% off your next order. It'll pretty much pay for your shipping or get you a couple dollars off. They sell old LEGO minifigures, sets, mystery boxes, and more. I've got a couple of videos on my channel showing the products, so be sure to use code LIFEBrick on your next order for 5%.